She just went in.
Let us know when
Yeah.
it changes, when the zero changes, okay? You want to have a look at the words in there? What's the time now?
Didn't change
Oh. Why did I thought it was 1:45. Yeah, it does, yeah. Oh, it makes sense as well. Oh, personally. Okay, we're a little early.
Well, wait
We'll
a
just
bit.
leave it on. We'll just play songs. I just put it on. What are you guys touching?
Is there anyone here? Papa, he's here.
Hmm?
Papa. Tati, the zero didn't change yet.
What?
The zero didn't change. You guys come, let's sing a song in the meantime. Come in, Yitzchak. Yitzchak. Come in. What's the time? 4:50. 451.
Hati.
Yeah.
Theory didn't change it.
What didn't change? The 0 didn't change?
Make it higher.
The 0 change, Yitzhak?
It's only one, mommy.
Oh, that's just mummy. Does it let you mute it? You'll...
Yeah, I can read it. Oh, I can read it. Tell him. I can read it.
Can you?
Yeah.
So mute it. Good Erev Shabbos, welcome. We're going to start off with a melody from the Friday night from the Yom Kippur evening service. Ki anu amecha, it's a reciprocal description of a reciprocal relationship with God. We are your nation, you are our king. Let's do Kihine Kachoina. I put a bookmark here. So I'll sing it, and you'll try to sing it. We'll sing about 2 stanzas, okay? Mandy? Kihine Kachoina beyadayoter Soy marchi כן אנחנו בידך חסד נויצר לבריזה בי ואהבת תפלה יוצר. Do one more. כי הנה כאבן ביד המשקף ברצוי צוי וברצוי צוי מחפש כן אנחנו בידך מחייך וממויסס לבריס הבית ואל תפר אלי יצר כי הנה גרגרתן בידך ראש ברצוי צוי דיברי קור וברצוי צוי פירש אוי כן אנחנו בידך תוי מכני בראש לברית הבית ואל תפר אלי. Let's do one more. כי הנה כהגן ביד המלאך. You guys try. ברצוי צוי חן וברצוי צוי שילח אוי כן אנחנו בידך ארצוי ואצלח לבריס הבית ואל תפן ליצר. Do one more. כי הנה כזכוכית ביד המזגגת ברצוי צוי חוגג וברצוי צוי ממויגג אוי כן אנחנו בידך מעביר ושוגג לבריס הבית ויד תפן ליצר. Good.
No. Remember after we can do some
We're going to do Shalom Aleichem, Mendy's favorite. Okay. You ready for the Chadaidi?
They're not now.
We're going to do it, Mendy, in just a moment. Do you want to go back in the house, Mendy? Do you want to go back in the house or do you want to join us? Up to you.
No.
Do you want to go back in the house? No? Shall I tell Mommy to take you? Is this too high for you guys?
Yes.
I'll drop it 1 minute. That's probably still a bit too high. 1 minute.
Shabbat,
Shalom.
Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem. You want to start with a solo, Mindy?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
But after I'm gonna say Shabbat.
Shabbat Shalom. Okay, sit up straight.
Shabbat Shalom.
Come sit up straight. You ready? Sit up straight so everybody can see you.
After I'm gonna say
yes,
Shabbat Shalom.
Okay.
Too loud after.
Shalom Aleichem. Malachei Hasharet. Malachei Louder. Shkoyach. Good job. Okay.
Now,
You want to blow the shofar?
yeah.
Okay. Well, we're kind of past the shofar blowing time.
But first, Tati's gonna blow.
No,
the
Tati's not going to blow today. Only you blow. Okay?
Okay.
You ready?
Only I blow.
Just give one long blow. Go.
Okay.
As long as you can.
Good job.
I need to do the other part.
Which other part? The long toot 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 toot, that one?
Yeah.
Okay, go. Very good, Mandy. High
exactly
five. What a good job. Mandy's getting really, really good.
Daddy's not blowing the shofar today.
That's fine. By next year, we're gonna hire you. You're gonna be the official shofar blower in shul.
Yeah, and then Daddy's also gonna blow the shofar.
That's right. The last time we blow the shofar is at the end of Yom Kippur.
Yeah.
We do one long, long, long blow.
Yeah. Like that there.
We'll do a memorial
Like
prayer
that.
for those observing
Don't
yard
blow.
to Brian Levine for his grandfather, to Robert Idis for his auntie. We mentioned her last week as well. Esther Bat Avraham, to Deidre Sender for his father, Abraham for Jacob Rosenberg for his mother, and for the Rosenberg extended Rosenberg family, to Esther and everyone else, Lilia Rosenberg, and to Neville Sender for his father, Hyman Sender. We'll do a Kel Mole, and we pray for their soul, that their soul should derive pleasure from the efforts of their children, and the soul should be elevated to its rightful place. Ein mole rachamim shoichein mameroimim hamtzei menucha nechoino al kanfei hashchina b'ma'alois kedoshim u'tahoirim kezoyar harakia mazirim et nishmat Batya bat Moshe Baritzer vet nishmat Esther bat Avram Singer vet nishmat Avram ben Shmuel Zalman Klaf vet nishmat Chaya Bluma bat Yaakov Rosenberg vet nishmat Chaim ben Leib Sender shalchu l'olamam ba'avur shebli neder itnu tzedakah b'adas karas nishmasom began eden tehei menuchasom lochein ba'al rachamim yastireim b'seiser knafav le'olamim Bitzroir, Achayim es nishmasom, Adonai unachalosom, Yanuchu b'shalom, Al mishkavom b'noimar, Amen. Just shift the camera slightly towards me. So this week I saw a interesting research that showed that children in first and second grades that were from homes that had lots of books in them, the kids were succeeded in their studies far more than anybody else. And initially the study assumed that the reason was that when they had a lot of books at home, the parents would read them to the kids, and the kids would acquire the knowledge, and that put them ahead of the game. But in fact, when they looked deeper, they realized that wasn't the case. Many houses that had books, the parents weren't necessarily reading them to the children. So they looked further to see, why do the kids that come from homes with books have an advantage when it comes to learning? And what they discovered was that the mere fact that the books are in the home and they stand out as being a lot of them, that imbues within the children the value of reading and of studying and of learning. And as a result, when the kids go into school, they have a natural motivation to push themselves to learn, to acquire knowledge, because that's what they saw at home, that books was a very dominant feature in their homes. So in this week's portion, the very final verse, everybody knows the first mitzvah in the Torah is to have children, but not a lot of people know the last mitzvah in the Torah, and that is the mitzvah of writing a Torah, writing a Sefer Torah. Now, if you look around today, even among very observant people, you will be astonished to see that there are very few people who actually write for themselves a Torah. And given the fact that this is a mitzvah, it's quite astonishing. Why wouldn't people who are observant attempt to perform this mitzvah? I personally have not written a Torah. I have not bought a Torah. So why haven't I or others tried to fulfill this mitzvah? And the answer is that it used to be that people didn't have printed books, and their way they used to study was they used to study directly from the parchment, the Torahs are sitting in the synagogue today. Today we have isolated them for public reading. But it used to be that they were the books that people used to actually study. They would pull them open and use them regularly for routine Torah studying. So when the Torah says to write a book, the intention, when the Torah says that it's a mitzvah to write a Torah, the intention isn't the way the Torah is to write a Torah in the way that it's used today, to write a Torah that just sits in the ark. The point was, explained the rabbis, the commentators, that the Torah wants us to write a Torah, meaning that we should have books always in front of us, that they should be accessible, that when we have books lying around, we're much more likely to pull them and read them, which is what this research found about children, that when their homes are filled with books, the kids are more likely to go over to the bookshelf, take the books, and read from them. And similarly, the mitzvah of writing a Torah is not strictly limited to writing a Torah scroll, but it is the idea of having Torah knowledge available, readily lying around in our libraries, at our homes, not just in the synagogue. If you want to study something Jewish, you've got to travel to shul, but we shall have all those books around, that if we want to learn, if our kids want to learn, they have them there. And here we see in modern research how just having the books around already puts people way ahead of the game in terms of instilling in them the desire, the hunger for knowledge and for learning. So the reason I'm sharing this idea with you is because we're all approaching Yom Kippur, and many of us are struggling with feeling the Yom Tov at home. Doesn't matter how religious or irreligious you are. If you want to feel the Yom Tov, it's very, very difficult when you're at home alone, or even with a few family members, to feel the Yom Tov. And many people might be tempted to give up and say, you know what, I'm just not going to put in any effort. I'm not going to fast. I'm not going to, because I can't feel it anyways. And what I would encourage everybody is that what I've found, the ultimate fuel, the ultimate inspiration for, particularly for spirituality, is reading and studying. Opening a Jewish book or printing valuable information about Yom Kippur for what we're talking about now, and simply sitting and reading it is a very powerful way of motivating ourselves and of feeling the Yom Tov. But in general, if we can stretch this across our lives, the value of books, but particularly the value of Jewish books, having Jewish books in our homes, in our libraries. Those who have been to our home know that it's a very dominant feature in our small lounge room. And it's for this very reason, because Judaism puts a huge emphasis on studying from books, and not even the studying, but even before that, just having them in our homes. And as an example of the emphasis that Judaism puts on Torah study, we all know that there's a mitzvah to give charity at 10% of our income. And Jewish law says that if somebody doesn't have enough money from their standard money to buy books, to buy Jewish books, they're allowed to use the 10% that they would usually give to charity. They're allowed to use that to buy Jewish books. Why? Because for a Jewish person to have Jewish knowledge is considered not just a personal pleasure, but it's considered something that is of benefit to the entire community. And every Jewish person who has knowledge, that is considered a communal benefit. So therefore the money that you were going to give to charity is considered, you can use that to buy books, which is not a personal thing, but something for the community. Another example, your kids' Jewish education. If somebody doesn't have enough money from their standard income to pay for their kids' Jewish education, they are allowed to use the 10% that they would otherwise give to charity towards their kids' Jewish education. Because for a child to have the right knowledge, the right education, is not treated as a personal benefit for that particular person, for that family, but rather it's considered a benefit for the entire community. So important is in Judaism the idea of having Jewish knowledge as a fire, as a fuel to enable us to feel the right things. So I'll finish off with that. Wish you a Shabbat Shalom and a meaningful Shabbat Shuvah. Hopefully you can put a bit more effort this Shabbat to enrich your knowledge, study something Jewish in order to feel the times that we are in at the moment, because we don't have shul and we can't do it otherwise. So we'll do it the good old way, which is pumping ourselves with knowledge. So I hope we're all inspired to do so. I myself have found this lockdown time a very opportune time to open books a little bit more and to enrich my personal knowledge. So I hope you can do the same, and God should grant us a Chatima Tova. Wish you all a Gemar Chatima Tova and a Shana Tova, and we look forward to seeing you very soon.